Welcome back, listeners, to Learning from Friends. My name is Kate Curtis, your tour guide, in this lovely adventure that we get to do bi-weekly together. And today, I am sitting back with my buddy Cee Jay, and we are going to discuss his financial, literacy, I'm going to call it, of how smart he was whenever he got into his real estate, working in the medical equipment world, getting into Turo, and then doing all this different advertising work on the side and some of the auctioneering work. It's just, the guy's really smart with his money and has really set himself up financially well. And I wanted to share his story with you guys because it's really great. With out there, we have the FIRE movement, which is financial independence, retire early, all those different movements that are out there. It's fun to hear people's stories about that kind of stuff, of what they're doing to make passive income and making income without having to work a 9-to-5 job. So but before we dive into that, we got to do my mom's quote of the day. So Mom, take it away.
Talent might make you good, but it's your attitude and work ethic that will make you great. Alistair McCain.
Thank you, Mom, for guiding us in these great directions for going to these podcasts, because those quotes really help drive it home for me and for the audience as well. I've got a lot of great feedback from those. So listeners, if you actually have a quote that you think that you would like to add on to the podcast, you can actually leave it in the comments, or you can send me a message and be like, hey man, I think this quote's something really kind of cool, and maybe it'll get thrown into the podcast. Who knows? We got plenty of time for that. We'll ride on that as it happens. But Cee Jay, welcome to the podcast, man.
What's up, man? How you doing, Cade, man?
It's so good. It's been, let's see here, I think I haven't seen you in about 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months.
About a month and a half, 2 months, yeah.
So someone that kind of range for it.
Yeah.
How in the world do we know each other? How did we kind of get connected here?
We got connected through a mutual friend of ours, Devon Chin.
Who's going to be on the podcast later as well. We'll get to meet him later.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, but through him, and he the one that got me learning about what you do and all y'all auctioneers. So and I ended up helping him with it. I ended up meeting y'all. So that's how we all got connected.
Yeah, I think it's been almost 1.5 to 2 years now.
Yeah.
Because I think the first one we worked together wasn't at the...
It was one we did, the last one we did.
The last one we did, the...
At Dunwoody Nature
The Dunwoody Nature Center.
That's when we first met.
That was the person that we we went through and did with John.
Yep.
Good old John McMurray, another guest that's been on. If you want to go back and listen to John McMurray's talking about eBay and how he, in the auction world, of what he does. Fun 2-part episode if you get the opportunity. I feel like,
crazy how that's the last time we seen each other.
It was right there.
Right there, yeah.
And George Franco, another one of those people that has an episode talking about benefit fundraiser auctions and his time in the industry, working in the TV industry. Yeah. It's fun getting to introduce my friends to you guys, and everybody has their own different cool stories.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And the majority of our audience has no clue, Cee Jay, who you are. Can you give us like a little bit of a Wikipedia page of yourself? Who is Cee Jay?
I'm just a regular guy, to be honest with you. Regular guy who just kind of think outside the box, truthfully.
Sure.
Yeah. Think outside the box. I guess my mind work a little bit different from a lot of people, so I just kind of analyze my thought process when it comes to business or work or anything I do, and I just make it somehow put together. I can't even explain it. It just
you have that it factor. I'm going to call it that. Do you have that personality, something that it clicks in your mind, and you think about it, it happens, and you know how to put yourself in the right place?
Yeah, yeah.
That's for sure.
That's true. Yeah, it's true about who you know. It is true, yeah.
And is there like any jargon or like words that perhaps that you may use in this episode at certain points that you're like, I just want to go ahead and say it right now and give a definition for maybe it, something that I may bring up later that may not be a common term?
Not top of my head, I don't. I might think of one later on.
If it does, I'll be like, can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. You can ask me that and I'll do that.
Yeah, because I know for me, sometimes I use jargon all the time being a teacher in all of what I call like alphabet soup of NEA, IEP, Individualized Education Flows, National Educator Association. People like, I don't know what NEA is. I don't know that stuff is. So it's good just to kind of sometimes introduce that if you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, there are so many people that we run into in our lives that from birth all the way through current day that either ranging from mentors or impact us in some way, form, or fashion. Do you have any people that you go, hey, this was a mentor to me and this person put me in the right place, or this guy gave me some advice that stuck with me?
Oh yeah, for sure. One of my old coworkers for I would say 2002,
Okay.
and we're still friends to this day. Yeah, but he's tell me so much stuff, and that he's the only one at work that stood out to me, and it and what he a lot of stuff he said made sense. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start listening to this guy at work. So the other guys at work,
Yeah.
keep in mind I'm number 18 at the time, and he was like, I think he was like 35 or like 18 at the time.
A little bit of experience of life ahead of you.
Yeah, because at that my old career, I was the youngest worker at that time at that job by like a big gap. So I was the only teenager at my old career at the time. So I kind of saw how he was living. I'm like, man, why this guy always doing this different from everybody else? But he's always happy. Everybody else is upset or miserable. Like, what did this guy do that the other guy didn't do? You know, that's how my
Yeah, how
how
can you
my
get
mind.
there? Well, I wanna be that guy.
Yeah, how my mind worked. My mind
Yeah.
worked like, okay, if this person is 50 years old and he doing XYZ, and that person 50 years old and he owned the factory. The other guy worked for the factory. I want to know what the guy who owned the factory did.
Yeah,
Not the
that's
guy.
smart. You
Yeah.
need that mindset already at that
Yeah,
age.
exactly. I always thought at that age, like, how did he owned the factory at 50 years old? This guy works for the factory at 50 years old. How did he get to that point? See what I'm saying? That's how my brain always worked.
So you always had the initiative in your mind of that what you wanted. You had a goal, you had something that you were looking
Oh yeah.
for. And that's
Yeah.
you can't that's hard to teach that.
Yeah.
You can't teach that.
Yeah, because I already knew I was not into school. I had fun in high school, a lot of
Yeah.
fun in high school, but I just was not into. I like, man, I don't want to sit in no classroom and listen to somebody tell me how to get a career, make money. I looked at it like nothing against college at all, but for me,
It's not for everyone. It's just
yeah,
not.
not for
That's the thing.
everyone.
It's not for
It
everyone.
just felt like I could just do better things in my time for that 4 or 6 years, and that's
True.
what I did. But I knew I had to make it happen because I know this. I don't have the super education behind my name or the paper like that. I knew I had to do something to make it happen to work for me.
Yeah.
I know I can't get no job working in this place. They don't want you to have a master's or whatever like that. So I said, I gotta do this for me. I gotta figure something out how I could succeed and win a life.
That's true. Trying to find that life hack in some way, form, or fashion in order to make sure that you can be taken care of because of that is a huge thing to transition from high school into adulthood and try
Yeah.
to figure out how you're going to be able to make that money because
Yeah.
rent ain't cheap, cars
Yeah.
ain't cheap.
Yeah.
None of that stuff is
No,
good
it's not
quality.
cheap at all. Not
And
cheap at
seeing
all.
somebody that has that knowledge ahead of you, it definitely can go a long way. Now, what was that first kind of job for you that you started kind of working into in order to see this? Was this were you working for like restaurants? What was it kind of that feel for you?
Well, when I got out of high school, it's weird because my parents, they never asked me like, what's your plan? What you gonna do? They never asked me that not one time. So when I got out of high school up until besides right now, I only spent like 2 or 3 weeks of my life with no plan, no nothing.
Oh wow.
And that was like 18. And so I got out of high school. I just happened to be out of high school. So I'm
Oh
just,
yeah, we all were.
I know going out all night, doing my thing. Then I was like, man, I'm grown now. I can't ask my parents for money. They really
True.
could do that anyway in
True.
high school. So I had to figure something out. So one of my aunts worked for the Georgia Secretary of State.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, yeah. And so I told her, I like, hey, I need a job. And she said, well, my job hiring, it wasn't paying much. It was paying like $8 an hour, $8.50 an hour, or something
Gotta
like
start
that.
somewhere.
This is 2002,
Yeah.
So
Minimum wage at that time. That's
Yeah,
actually more than minimum wage.
even
at that
more
time.
than wage. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So me and one of my best friends, she got him a job there too. And we worked for the Secretary of State. We were there maybe like around, I say maybe 6 months. It was a cool job, put some money in my pocket. They ended up laying me and a friend of mine off
Oh
because
man.
what it was is they really lied to us. They said, well, they don't need the help right now. But it was that we signed up for community college at the same time.
God.
But the school only took 30 minutes away from our 40-hour-a-week job.
Huh.
Yeah, and that was us leaving 15 minutes early, 2 days out the week. They was like, well, we need somebody to be here the full 40 hours. And we're like,
We're only gone for 30 minutes.
30 minutes,
Yeah.
So they let us go, and then they hired somebody right behind us. How we knew they just made it up,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
but
just looking for some excuse.
it's some excuse, yeah, but I ain't take it personal. So after that, I called my uncle. No, actually, I was at church, and my little cousin said, "What you gonna do now?" I just need a job. She said, "Why
Yeah.
don't you ask your Uncle Jesse?" I called him. He was like, "Yeah, nephew, I get you a job. Don't worry about it." When I tell you it was quick, he would come. My nephew, my uncle, he worked in the medical field like
Okay.
all my life. So I remember as a kid to see him coming home late with the truck with all the oxygen and all that medical stuff in there. And I was like a kid,
Yeah.
but I never really understood what he did. And I always told myself, "Sure, I'd never do what Uncle Jesse do. I'd never do that, man. He, you know what I'm saying? He gone all the
famous
time."
last words.
Yeah, and I ended up doing that forever. So he like, "Yeah, nephew, I get you a job." But I really never knew in depth what he did. I knew it was a medical field.
Yeah.
So like he sent me the application. I filled it out on a Monday. They called me back on Wednesday.
Wow.
Interviewed me on Friday and hired me on Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
It was like that.
So that was
yeah.
like just one after the other.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I got some money in my pocket. So they put me in the job. And the crazy part, they really didn't explain or tell me how much I was making. I just knew I had a
You
job.
just knew you had a job, you were making money.
I'm making
You
some
were
money.
happy.
I was happy, exactly.
Yeah.
So here I am thinking I'm gonna be like cleaning wheelchairs and stuff like that. Man, they put me in training. I'm in the truck. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah,
Nice.
we're gonna go see patients. You're gonna be seeing patients and setting them up on oxygen, CPAPs, feeding pumps. And I'm like 18. I'm like, am I ready for this? It was kind of overwhelming.
Sure.
Yeah. So I had to learn the job, and then you got to remember this 2002, so GPS wasn't out like that.
Oh, so you're having the map.
They had the map books. So I had to buy a map book. I had to learn how to read a map book. Never read one in my life.
Another life skill is going to come back.
Oh yeah, that to this day that helps it a lot, especially when GPS not acting right. You gotta look at the actual map. That helps out.
I get lucky. I have an internal GPS that if I've gone somewhere, I could typically get back, and it's
I'm the same way too. I'm real good with like directions. I got a good sense of direction because of that job. I struggled at the beginning, learn the map book and learn the medical equipment because when you got people who depend on this for their life,
it goes a long
you
way,
get in a nerve. You don't want to screw up. Like, okay, this person relied on me to breathe. This person relied on me for their feeding, whatever like that. This stuff part of the job. So when I first started off, I think that first maybe 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, I was struggling, man. Cade, I was struggling.
With any start to a job, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah,
Gosh,
exactly.
With teaching, they say your first year is the hardest, and I will admit that is a true statement.
Your
first 3 years is the hardest.
I believe that. You got to get used to the job, you know.
Exactly.
So
imagine, especially when you're dealing with someone's life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is literally with a heartbeat. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I can imagine doing that.
Yeah, it was a challenge.
By fire for sure.
And then remember, it's medical field, so we got to do on call also.
So maybe getting called at night.
Yeah, but when you're new, they don't put you on call in the beginning. They want to make sure you're really comfortable because you're on call, you're by yourself.
Oh, okay.
You had nobody to back you up. So I was struggling. Then I found out I was getting paid. They wasn't paying me hourly. They were paying me per patient I was seeing.
So you're seeing commission almost in a way.
Not commission. It's so listen, they gave me 10 patients to see that day.
Okay.
They paid me $10 for everyone I saw.
For patient you saw that you were able to get.
I got 10.
Gotcha.
Over time I got raises, $11, $12. So when I found that out, I'm upset because I'm sitting here like, man, I'm sitting here struggling. Only getting paid $10 a person. They were paying me $10 an hour when I was in training. But then I put me on my own, I was getting paid $10 a person.
Yeah.
And then they started me out night shift. I remember because they don't load you up with a bunch of patients until they know you come with the map book.
Okay.
And so I learned by getting lost. Yeah,
Hey,
I got lost so many times. And they didn't give you nothing that was like super urgent. They would give you like a walker or a cane or something. Because they don't want to give you no pharmacy drugs and then you can't find the person's house and the person missed their dose. Yeah,
because if you miss a dose, that could get you quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So they give you baby steps. And I remember my first paycheck, I had to wait a week in the hole, and I worked so many hours. My check was like, maybe $600 for 2 weeks.
Nice.
I'm sitting there.
Especially in 2001.
Well, actually, it would have been nice, but the hours I worked wasn't worthy of $200.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The trade-off there.
The trade-off, because here I am working like 110, 125 hours in a 2-week period for $600.
Yeah, they averaging out. You're making really $6 an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm irritated, and my uncle was like, "Hey man, I'm telling you, you stick with this, you're gonna make a ton of money." I just wasn't seeing it.
Yeah, because it's still so early on.
It's so early. I'm 18, and so then I'm missing going out with my friends and all kind of stuff. Cause we had a weekend, we worked the weekend, we were off the weekend like that.
Yeah.
So I'm getting irritated, and
you were 18,
I was 18
this time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big time for being able to hang out with your buddies.
Exactly. So I had a night, one of my manager there, Carl, we still cool to this day. He was like, listen, man. He said, look, take your time. I'm telling you, it's gonna click one day. It's gonna click. One thing I can say, majority of the managers there all had my back except for one. So they were like, man, gonna click. And I'm like, okay. And then one night it just clicked. I don't know what happened.
Huh.
The MacBook wasn't giving me no errors or nothing. It was just everything just boom, boom,
Right there.
boom.
As the guy has said.
Yeah, because we had a night we got slammed with a bunch of orders, and my manager had to load me up, and he didn't know if I was ready for it or not. And I ended up
Found out.
knocking all the orders out like in a short period of time. So I said, okay, I made $100, in 6 hours, 5 hours. Yeah, so it started. Yeah, it started
making sense.
making sense, And then I never get. He came and gave me a hug. What you doing, man? He said, bro, you did great last night.
Yeah.
And then started giving me more tickets. So probably like towards the end of my second month, going to my third month, now I'm making money. So here I am, 18. I'm making like 1,400 a paycheck at at 18.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This is 2002. Exactly.
Oh.
People have to make that now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'd be happy to make
So I'm sitting here like, so my mind was like, you know what? I like hanging with my friends, but I like having money too,
Oh,
so,
yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah, so I started just doing more and more than all I know I was buying. I lived with my parents at the time.
Yeah.
So, I had so much money.
Yeah, because you're saving all that cash.
But I was buying.
You're not adding on all the different not doctors, but you're not adding on college bills.
Nothing.
You're not adding on anything else.
I have no
You're
debts.
saving money.
No debts. And then,
Man.
I'm buying all this stuff. I buy so much stuff. My parents thought maybe I'm probably doing something illegal because they're like, we know you got a job, but you can't be making this much money.
Yeah.
Which was weird for somebody my age at that time.
Oh, yeah, especially 18 coming in with that kind of cash.
But it went,
people insinuate.
Man, it went up higher because then I would able to do on call.
And you make more when you're
I'm
on
making
call.
more because they were giving us, we got an extra 300 a week for on call. So what happened is I got hit the money bug. So I would go to my coworkers and say, hey man, get your on call. But before I started doing that, the guy you asked me about, the guy who kind of mentored me.
Yeah, your mentor, yeah.
So when I first started the job, I didn't see him for the first 2 or 3 weeks because I found he'd a Deafness fan. His sister died.
Oh, God.
So I didn't even meet him till like my third or fourth week.
Yeah.
And then one night we both was on call and he like, what's your name, man? Like Cee Jay, man. He said, yeah, I'm LT, woo, woo, woo. And he was like, man, I guess so far I said, well, it be kind of rough. And he the one kind of gave me some tips.
Oh, yes, the expert guy.
Yeah, it was him
you
and some
gotta
other
love it.
people too, but mainly him
And
giving
you
the tips.
listen too. That's
I
the big key
listen.
thing.
Cause he said, man, I said, man, I'm making money, but I still kind of broke sometimes. He said, man, what you do, man? He said, listen, they give us a truck to drive, don't they? I said, yeah. He said, so we ain't have to pay for none of our gas. I said, yo, you right. He said, if we go home from work, to the manager, say, hey, you got an extra 2 or 3 orders in my area where I live at, you can make an extra $25 to $40 a day on the way home. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. He said, and you're not paying for gas. You just save that money. I'm like, that makes sense.
That is smart.
Yeah, so I started doing that, making more money. Then I started seeing how he was getting it. And I'm like, man, this guy really doing it. But then I found out that my coworker, he actually has money.
Ah.
Yeah, and I'm like, so, but he worked like he doesn't have money. I remember one time I was looking for this order to see this patient because my manager said, hey, get the order from LT because he kind of slammed the guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I asked him, he said, I think it's in my truck somewhere. So I go in his work truck, open it up. He had like this file cap, like a clipboard that opens up.
Oh yeah, those things are awesome.
He had so much paperwork in there. I was going through it.
As I call them.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but it's a clipboard type thing. It was weird.
Huh.
And I remember I opened it up and I saw like 4 envelopes fall out. It was all his paychecks. He hadn't cashed his paychecks for like 2 months. And I said, LT, your paychecks came out? He said, yeah, I haven't had time to cash them. I said, man, you haven't cashed a check in 2 months? He's like, yeah, I don't even like that. I'm fine. That's why I knew, okay, I'm listening to this guy. Listen to this guy. I know what I'm saying? Yeah.
If he's not worried about money and he's got cash sitting in his car. Like,
man, he had all the paychecks with just, Kim, this is before you could take a picture of the paycheck.
You have to go to the bank.
You had to go to the bank. And I'm seeing the paycheck. And it didn't have void on there. There was an actual paycheck. And I saw how much money his check was. I'm like, Jesus, this is like my second and a half, third month of the job.
Yeah.
So I started doing what he was doing. All I know, Cade, here I am 18. I'm making like 2,400 every 2 weeks. At this is 2002. So I'm making like roughly around 4,800 to $5,000 a month.
I don't even make that a month.
I was,
505, my taxes come out and everything.
I was 18 years old, making
amazing.
60-something thousand a year. You couldn't tell me nothing. You hear me? You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So my parents were like, and then my dad was like, "How much money you making?" I said, "Dad, I'm making really good money." "How much?" I said, "Not enough money." He said, "No what? I don't see your paycheck next
Let
time
me
you
see
see
what you
it."
got going on. Yeah.
So I get paid. I'll never forget it. I got paid, got home late from work that night. I woke up my mom and dad. I'll never forget my dad, for he opened it up and he saw I said like 25, 2,600. He said, "Do what you made for the month?" I said, "No, I just my one paycheck for 2 weeks." My mom and my dad, she said, "You made this for 2 weeks?" "Yeah, we get paid. I get paid like $5,000 a month." My dad said,
You paying rent now.
"Well, yeah, but I know I was then, but he
Yeah.
was like, you're not going to college, you're not going to school, you're not doing this." Cause my dad like, what's the point? The point of going to school is to get a job that
Yeah,
pays like this.
Pay that kind of money.
And you're in the medical field, so there's no layoffs.
Mm-mm.
And there wasn't a layoff, you know.
Not medical.
Yeah, exactly. So I stuck with it, man. And then I got the money bug. And I was in this grind mode because of the dude mentoring me, LT.
Yep.
He
You
like,
picked up
"Man,
on it
save
and
the
taking
money, this and that." Woo, woo, woo. And then I started saving money, man. Then I had an issue with I had a manager I had a really bad issue with, man. And he oh man, he was just on me, like on me. And I remember not just my coworker that I was talking about, some other coworker came to me. They said, "Listen, man," they said, "the reason why you're having the issue," he said, "you don't know this because you're 18. Because at this time, no, this was later on, because I end up buying my first house at 20, my first 2 houses at 20.
Oh, wow.
Because at this time, I've been on a job 2 years. You know, I'm making like 70 grand a year, you know.
And houses are a lot cheaper than they are now.
Exactly. And I had 0 debt. I had nice cars like that. And then I bought the first house. After I bought the first house, then it's funny. This what got me into like the whole real estate thing.
Real estate, passive income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had so much money, you know, I just like, well, maybe I need to buy a house. And so,
Good thought, because it's a great investment.
Yeah.
Investment.
Well, I'm thinking about to move into, you know, at that time I wasn't thinking like investments.
Oh, gosh. You're just thinking, hey, man, I'm going to move out from my parents' house, going to have my own place.
Exactly. And I'm making, it's funny that I said my mind worked different, because most young people, their mind is, you know, live with your parents, you go to college, get your first apartment or like that.
Yeah.
My mind was like, I said, why should I get an apartment? I could buy a house.
I can buy a house. Yeah,
Like the concept made no sense to me.
True.
Yeah, you know. So I'm not nobody living in an apartment at all. Don't get me wrong, but that's just how my brain.
Oh, yeah. Because you knew what you wanted.
I did. It just made more sense. It was just like, why? If I got to pay $1,000 a month to live, I might want to own the place. That's just how my. I said,
own the place, and also you can be able to change what you want to it. And hey, you don't have to deal with the landlords, and that way you are the landlord.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're paying for something that it's gonna come back in long term. You're not there's a long term process that goes for it.
Exactly. So I got an older cousin. He's in real estate. He the one that got me into it. We're cousins, but we grew up more like brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So him and my sister, because she's an agent too, but at the time it was an agent. They both were kind of dealing with real estate. And my cousin called me and said, "Hey, you gonna get a house?" I was like, "All right, whatever, I get it.
Let's go for it. Yeah, whatever."
Yeah. So I ended up buying my first house, and it was funny because I was there about to cut the grass, and then there's some guy pulls up. He said, "Hey, this house for rent?" And then once again, I said, my mind worked. I said,
"Oh man,
it could be. No, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Dude shot me a number. He said, "Well, it ain't for me. It's somebody else I know, wherever like that. But they look for something around this price." I'm like, okay, my mortgage is this, and they trying to pay this. I can make an extra $500 a month. So I said, "Yeah, they can stay here." They're like, "Who owned the property?" I said, "Me." So swipe information.
Nice.
People call me, and then I end up getting them a lease. Kid, man, I don't know what I'm doing.
So are you living at the house with them at the time, or did you just rent the house out?
I just rent the house, stay back with my parents.
Okay.
At that time, I'm 20 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So I stayed with my
parents. That was
parents.
also your parents allowed you to come back.
Awesome. Well, I never left. But at the same, that's a different part of the story.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I didn't rent the house out to them. But then I was going to, maybe like 6 months later, I said, I still want to move out. So I went and found me another house. Found the other house. And so what happened was my parents were having some financial issues.
Okay.
And so I didn't want to leave my parents hanging. And then they owned their house too. So I was stuck in my parents' house for a while just for the fact that because here I am making, I
Be
made
able
more.
to help out.
I live with my parents, but I
Yeah.
made more than my parents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm 19, 20 years old making more than my parents, but I stay at my parents. So like if somebody would come by, they would think I'm just the bum kid living with their parent, not knowing I'm the support system.
So that you're the one helping make it work.
I'm the one paying majority of
Yeah.
everything, right? So
People
that
are gonna think whatever they wanna
they're
think.
gonna think that I stay
They're
there
gonna think
probably.
whatever.
Yeah. I'm fine with it, man. My friends knew the deal, but the reason I wasn't embarrassed about it, cause I'm like, sure, I own 2 homes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not just some guy living with my parents. That's when 2008 started happening.
Oh, yeah, with the housing market.
Housing market,
Yeah.
yeah. That hit a lot of people in real estate. They hit me too. So I said, okay, what I'm gonna do? I said, all right. I had let one house go, and then I sold the other house. So I pretty much broke even the other house. So I
Which I
said,
say, that's nice.
yeah, exactly.
That
That's why I really
a lot
couldn't
of
be
people were
mad.
going in the hole.
Yeah, 'cause a lot of mortgage fraud going on back
Yeah,
then
there
too.
was.
Yeah. So I said, know what? I sat down, I'll never forget, I sat down in my car one day. I was in the parking lot. I said, all right, keep in mind, Cee Jay, at the time I was 24 years old. At the time, I said, listen, 24 years old, got a really good job. You could bounce back. That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
And I got back to my original plan, like this working all these hours. When I tell you, Cade, that's one reason why I'm kind of where I am right now. Because when I tell you I worked, oh my God, like I would probably have 1, maybe 2 off days a month for like
You were just
years.
going.
Me and my mentor guy,
Man. Because you put in the time then to be able to enjoy this time now later.
Exactly. And to the day, all my friends could tell you this. Like
That takes a lot of effort, dude. That's just say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna work."
it
Make this
is
work.
mentally too.
Oh,
It's
that's
a mental
hard.
aspect of it because keep in mind you're young, you want to go out and have fun.
Exactly.
I still
Yeah.
had fun. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, like my friends would go out literally every weekend. Every weekend, party. So I would do it. I said, all right, I'll go out maybe 1 weekend out the month. So I won't miss none of my youth.
You
You know
still
what I'm
have
saying?
some stuff with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes I do 2 weekends out the month. But other than that, I done had months where I done worked every day for like months. Me and that
Wow.
same guy, because this is a medical field.
You
They
can work all the time.
They
There's
never,
always work.
they never told us
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And so, but you could get burnt out. But the thing was, reason I didn't get burnt out because I was on a mission, and I
You
would
knew
not.
you had an end
Man,
goal.
yeah, because I wasn't a college guy, so this was like my only way to kind of better my life.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus and grind. My friends didn't make it harder for me. They really did because,
Yeah.
man, you work all the time, man. You don't do this. All you do is work, man. You don't have no life. All I heard was, you don't have no life. You don't have no life. You don't have no life. And I told them, they can take to the day. I said, bro, I'm not going to work in my 40s and 50s. I told them that.
I want to be done.
I want to be done. I said, I want to have control of my life. Man, that's so far away, man. It's all I heard, right? When I turned 25, I said, you know what, man? No, I was 23. My coworker said, what you want in life, man? I said, man, I want me another house and I want me that Corvette I want. That's how.
That's the one
how
say
I
out
got- yeah.
front. Yep.
So he was like, man, you can do it, man. Listen, man. He said, we're going to have a plan right now. He said, you're 23. He said, at the time he was like 40 or something, like late 40s.
Yeah.
He said, listen, we're going to have a plan. We're going to save up 2 years. We both said that.
Okay.
We're going to get both our dream car, whatever like that. We were like, all right. So I probably took off for a whole year. I might have had maybe, I say 16 to 20 days. That's how hard I was working.
Man, you're working 340 something days of the year.
Yeah, I said I take maybe 1 day off out the month, sometime 2.
So you're doing like 100-hour weeks almost.
Oh, all the time.
100 something hour.
But this time though, I wasn't getting paid. I still wasn't getting paid hourly.
Yeah.
But I was making more.
Patient.
But now I'm seeing, oh man, I was seeing between 18 to around 27 people a day getting paid $12 per person. So I'm making around $300 a day.
Just walk going around.
Not even adding the on call. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm making more. I'm making like 2,800 every 2 weeks. So I'm bringing in like basically around $6,000 a month on average. We added the on call.
That's
pay.
amazing.
Exactly. So taxes were killing me because I was claiming zero.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, taxes are gonna get you.
You're gonna get me, but I still was saving. I was saving roughly like around between a bad month, 800, a good month, $2,000. Just saving. And then that's when 2008 happened. And then everything went down.
It's collapsed on everybody.
Man, I bought that Corvette. It was a year old. I bought it probably like 70% off.
Wow.
Because the banks wasn't financing people.
Yeah, they were trying to get anything.
Yeah, they wasn't financing people. Exactly. Yeah. And I had all cash.
Oh, they loved you.
Oh, they loved me. Oh, they loved me. I called the dealer. I found this in Auto Trader, in the old Auto Trader magazine.
Oh, man, I missed those.
I missed those too, man. Back this time, they had the website up. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the Auto Trader website, found the Corvette all in California. My buddy found he had bought the G, I forgot what Infiniti got, the G Coupe, two-door coupe one.
Ooh,
he had bought that, and he found his up in Virginia. I found mine in California. And so I got with the dealer. They're like, yeah, you know, Bates not really financing. I said, oh, I got cash. He like, cash? He said, yeah.
Okay.
He said, you send me $1,000, I'll hold the car for you. Send me $1,000. I ended up getting this lady do private. She's actually a dealer, just some lady. She did like private deals. And so what she did for me, because I didn't know who this guy was too much, she had the bank finance the car for me because the bank saw I had cash. They're like, oh, we'll find the whole thing for him.
Yeah, you got cash.
And the bank sent him the money. And he sent the paperwork to the bank and to her. And then I paid the car off the minute I got the car like that. It took like 3 weeks to get the car.
Yeah.
I paid it off the very next day, just boom. Just like that. Yeah.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah. I never had a payment on that car.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Never had that's my mind had been different growing up.
Yeah.
That was
teaching that to people is so hard.
Exactly. But I gotta tell my friends to this day, I said, although how I was, I didn't expect them to be like that.
True.
Because
don't push your genius on someone else.
Exactly.
Let them make their choice.
Exactly. I understood like what I was doing wasn't normal for somebody my age, you know. And so I bought the Corvette. Oh, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
You hit the big times when you're doing
it. Oh yeah, and I still had my old school car that I hooked up to. So I still had 2 cars, you know. And so then right after I bought the Corvette, I bought this house like a year later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought this house now like 26, 27. You know what I'm saying? You see where I live at. Yeah.
I love this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So all the houses get bigger going down there.
Oh, I can believe it.
Like 3-4 car garage. It go bigger. Yeah. So when I bought this house, that was the time my friends were like, okay, we was wrong.
First off, we were wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They were like, man, we should have did what you did. I said, bro, I never told y'all had to do it. I just told y'all I had a plan, you know. From that point on, man, things at work started getting bad because of jealousy.
Yeah, people can be cruel. People
yes,
can be
they
cruel.
can. Yes, they
can be your best friend and your worst enemy.
Yeah, that is so true.
Technology.
That is so true. And the crazy part is at that job, I guess because I've been there at the time from 18 to like 25, 26, I knew everybody.
You built seniority in that way.
I did build seniority, but I knew people at corporate. I knew the owners. I knew I knew all these people. You had
a network. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we kind of became friends over time, but I never really abused our friendship. Like, so I remember my regional manager, he was like my boss's boss, like 3 levels above me.
Okay.
Me and him, we're like tight. To this day, we're like tight. If I need anything right now, he was, to this day,
he was ready.
Oh man, to this day. And for me being just a regular employee, normally corporate people don't really, you know.
They don't want to interact that well.
Yeah, but he was like one of the boys, although he was everybody's boss. I'll never forget this. He told me this. He said, hey, no, I'm a black guy. He's a white guy. He said, Cee Jay, I'm going to tell you right now, don't be surprised if you have any issues. You're a black man. You're doing all the people going to have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that. And so did the same coworker. They both actually put me in the office and told me at the same time. I'm like, man, no, I'm doing anything illegal. They're like, but we understand that, but
someone's going to try to push it down.
And so what happened was, I was like, yeah, whatever. I ain't paying no attention. Probably like a month and a half later, 2 months later, I get a call from my manager. And me and my managers, we was for my part, we got along fine.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? And I got a call. They were like, yeah, somebody reported you, say you was drinking on the job and they spied your truck at a bar and you put out to like a drunken rage. So I'm laughing. I'm like, that's funny.
Wow.
And they said they saw you like in Lilburn or whatever like that, right? And so then let's say they saw me in Lawrenceville. They said they saw me like Lawrenceville, Buford area. And I said, hi, y'all funny. They said, well, go ahead, come back to the office. So I was like, I said, well, I said, how more people I got to see. They were like, no, don't worry about that. In that industry, they say stop what you're doing to come
Stop
back.
it and come in.
You're
That's your moment. You know you're in trouble.
You know you're in trouble. No,
Yeah.
it's okay. They never say that. So now I'm confused. I go to the office and I say, yeah, what's up? And my assistant manager, my branch manager put me in the office. They was like, yeah, man, we got a call saying that you did this and you were drinking and this right here happened. You pulled out in this rage and you almost caught the accident. And I was like, how y'all funny? They were like dead serious.
Oh, man.
So they had the whole write-up paperwork. They had 2 write-ups. They had one for like reckless driving and like drink on the job. It was something crazy.
Wow.
I was like, are y'all serious? They were like, yeah. And I said, well, that's the case.
Where's your proof?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The proof at, they said, well, we had a call for somebody in the street. I said, well, I'll tell you what, the Concentra was his medical place. Like that, we did our drug test or any person got injured or anything like that. I said, Concentra down the street. I said, just give me the paperwork and I could go down there and take a drug test right now. Y'all could ride with me. We go right this second and see if I got alcohol in my system. Y'all don't smell it. And they're like, well, we just want you to fill this out. I said, well, can I get a drug test?
That's called like consent. Like, I'm saying I'm guilty.
Yeah, exactly. So I told them I'm not going to sign it. They said, well, even if you don't sign it, it's still going to get fired. One more time, you're fired. So I'm like, wow. And so then I said, okay, I'm not signing it. So I go back and I never was the one to abuse my power at work, like call corporate. I know I was cool all the corporate people.
Yeah.
That was the one time I had to make a phone call.
Yeah, because that's going after your livelihood right there.
Exactly.
And your name. That's the only thing you got is your name.
Exactly. But nobody in the office believed it. Like, you didn't do that. I said, exactly. And so I called my regional manager. I told him what happened. He said, that don't sound like you.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, exactly. So he said, don't worry about it. Don't say nothing. I'll be here tomorrow. So next day I go to work. I know he's coming, but my managers don't.
Has no idea. Yeah.
You know how you bet the job, you see the corporate guy come, everybody like, oh my God. Yeah. although he wasn't that type of person, we could relax around him.
But everybody still.
But he came unannounced, so I knew he was coming. Called me in the office. My manager said, what you doing here, man? Yeah, I come in the office. He called me and my 2 managers in the office. Said, Cee Jay told me about what happened yesterday. Woo, woo, woo. They're like, yeah, somebody did this, somebody did that. He said, so where the drug test at? They get quiet. My manager said, what you mean? He said, where the drug test at? I go to my region. I said, man, I asked both of them
to go to get a drug
I said, he could come with me to make sure I don't go nowhere else, go straight there. He was like, is that true? They're like, yeah, he did say that. He said, and y'all didn't do that. He said, so yeah, I said he drunk on the
without
job.
any proof. Yeah.
And he offered to take the test. But y'all said no. He was like, yeah, did he smell like alcohol? They were like, yeah, he did. I said, come on, bro.
Be honest.
I didn't have not one sip of liquor. Then we had a thing cont a route sheet that showed like what side of town
you were, where your locations.
And then they told him that the person called said I was in Beaufort. My route sheet said I was in Lilburn. My regional manager said,
totally different area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My regional manager said, so what time this call came in? It said it came in around 12:30-ish. So regional manager go down the route sheet. He said, Cee Jay, that Miss So-and-so house, bring her oxygen this time. Get the phone. He said, hey, Miss So-and-so, this is vice president of the company, whatever like that. Yeah. He said, did somebody catch my driver drinking? No, Cee Jay was at my house setting up the oxygen stuff. And he live in Lilburn, right? She's like, yeah, I want to know. All right, thank you. So they caught the managers in the lie. So yeah, so I just told her leave the room. I left the room and he went in on them, came out, handed me all my write-ups, told me to shred them up, tear them up. So then he left.
That's a good feeling.
Oh, a real good feeling. But I went back. No, my managers, they came out to the warehouse in front of all the employees. I said, y'all two are disgusting. I said the fact, and I ain't gonna lie, I was mad. I shouldn't have said this, but it had me mad. I said the fact, y'all are so jealous. Y'all told me, cause when you're young, everybody tell you the real world gonna eat you alive. You ain't gonna be able to survive. I came out like the real world is great. This is easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then I said, y'all just mad because I'm doing better than y'all. I told my manager this. I got more money than y'all. I said, I got more houses than y'all. My car, my whole lifestyle. Y'all can't afford me. I was roasting them. I was killing them. They had nothing to say.
Yeah.
Then I remember my regional manager put me aside and my mentor guy, LT, he was saying, listen, Cee Jay, you gotta understand this. Dude, you're 25 years old.
Yeah.
People your age don't have multiple houses living in this subdivision right here, driving a Corvette legally. I said, he said, older people see that and they're
Get
jealous
Yep.
because it takes them years to get where you at. You been in high school for 7 years and you already own like 3 homes, you know?
Yeah,
It like
exactly.
it don't feel right to them, you know? And so I was like, man, I never thought about that. We end up kind of
Jealousy
like
is a very dangerous thing.
very
It is a
dangerous.
very
People
dangerous
get
thing.
killed over jealousy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then for somebody who did nothing wrong, just mind my own business. But eventually, maybe like a couple months later, they both apologized to me. It was them that called and made
Yeah.
that up. They apologized to me. We swept it.
Managers did?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
And actually, that manager, me and him, we're still cool to the day. We squashed it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't hold a grudge in life.
Yeah.
Sit back, straighten it up, move on.
Yeah. That's pretty much
You
what I
make you a
did, man.
bitter old man at times.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That
how
is
long
true.
did you wind up staying with the company still?
Oh, they ended up making me a manager because that other manager, they let him go and they made me replace him.
Okay.
So that actually made me management.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't want the management job, but
You took it just to kind of move because you saw a financial move maybe?
well, it wasn't that. Found out I was the youngest worker at my branch. All my coworkers went behind my back and told the manager they wanted me to be the branch manager. Yeah, without telling me. They knew I was going to try to turn it down.
Yeah.
So they kind of all gained up on me. They forced a promotion on me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So then I stayed there for about, I think I was there for 12 years because then I get bought. You know, you get bought by other companies.
Oh, yeah. Over time, people acquire.
Yeah, and the new company, they was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yeah. And
Sometimes in those new acquisitions, companies just
oh man, they
it'll
were
burn
the
you
worst.
down. There's a reason why some companies go bankrupt after that, because if it's just they see an opportunity and they run it into the ground.
Oh, that basically what happened. And it was the biggest competitor in the whole world in that industry. So they're like a corporate conglomerate, you know, and so they was horrible. And stuck with that. I was a manager there for like, I think like 5 or 6 years. And then when I started traveling for work a bit, and then I traveled for work a bit with them, the new regional manager, me and her, we wasn't getting along. And then I'm one of those people where I don't care about being in charge.
Uh-huh.
I just care about my paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
And then it got to a point with that job where like there was nothing, not just me, anybody can do. It was always something somebody in trouble for. Even my bosses, they was in trouble for something. My coworkers in trouble for something. And here I am, the manager. They wanted me to write up people that did nothing wrong. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. And
Yeah.
they get no problem with me. Then one day I said,
So you
no.
just see it right on the wall. Yeah.
I knew it was up one day because we had several branches around Georgia. At the time I was working in the Lawrenceville branch. All the technicians who went out and saw the patients, they all quit within a 3-day of each other at our Athens office.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign because that's how bad the company was. And they're
Yeah.
huge. And they had me traveling for work. They had me working in Lawrenceville, Cade. I'm not making this up, promise you. They had me working in Lawrenceville, Georgia,
Okay.
Jacksonville, Florida,
What?
and Athens in a 2-week period. Well, more like a 3-week
So you're
period.
traveling between these.
They flew me out to Jacksonville.
Wow.
I was out there for like a week and a half. The people in Jacksonville, some of their drivers quit, and I wasn't even there to go drive. I was there to help the office.
Yeah, you have things organized.
Yeah, exactly. So now I got to do that and get out in the truck and help them in Jacksonville. Then I had to fly back to my office, and then I had to work in my office. Then I had to go help the Athens office because they had 0 technicians. So I would get done at my office, drive to Athens. I wouldn't get home to
Burned
like
out now.
I would get home like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Had to be at work at 7, 8. You know, yeah. And then my regional manager, never forget this. She said, "Cee Jay, we gotta write you up." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Your overtime is insane." I said, "You have me working in."
One had me going here doing extra.
I didn't ask to go out there. Yeah, they said, "Well, one reason they said, can they pay you for travel?" So,
Gotcha.
but they wrote me up because they said basically what happened was my flight, but I had left that morning for Jacksonville.
Mhm.
The weather delayed it for like 5, 6 hours.
So they're paying.
They're paying for all that.
There at the airport.
Exactly. And so they wrote me up for that, which I have no control over
Yeah,
that.
you can't control any of that.
I showed them the ticket and the everything. They said, "Well, you could have figured something out." How?
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
Then what happened, I told my manager, I said, "Well, I want you to do what," but this is my corporate office. I said, "I want you to tell me, Lawrenceville, Jacksonville, and Athens, Georgia in a 40-hour period, including travel. I said, go. They was like, it could be done. You just gotta work hard. No. I want to hear your experience. I want you to tell me. And they couldn't tell me. And that's when then I said, you know what? I'm done. So I went and looked for the job in the same field, found the job in the same field for the competitor, paying me more money not to be a manager. Because again, I don't care about title.
Yeah, you just want the paycheck.
I want the paycheck. Put my 2-week notice in, and I left with respect for notice too. It wasn't like, oh, F y'all. It was like, you know what? It's been great working here, everybody. I found another opportunity where it was real professional. All I know, man, I get a phone call from my regional manager. She said, so you're quitting on me, right? I said, yeah. She says,
it's that time. Yeah.
She said, well, no, don't worry about it. You fired. Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Just like that. I said, oh, wow.
That's how it's going to be. Okay.
Yeah, but they ended up having to take the letter of separation back because I guess they weren't going to outthink me. I kept a copy of my letter of resignation and the timestamp that I emailed it to them. Yeah, okay. And so the legal office said, yeah, we got to take it back. He could sue us because he actually quit.
Before.
And I had zero write-ups. No write-ups.
So nothing they could stand on.
Exactly. So they had to take it back. Then
that can leave a bitter taste in your mouth entirely of just the field in general.
Oh yeah. Oh, it can. Because not all the people that are bad. Most of the corporate people are bad people. I'm not gonna they are. You know what I'm saying? Because all they see the numbers.
Exactly. They're not seeing the people, they're seeing the number.
And not seeing, just like the principal saying, oh, okay, just teach them math. You know, like ain't that simple.
Yeah.
You're the principal. More. You ain't out here with the kids, you know. Yeah. So I end up working at another company doing the same work. They learned fast. I was him. I was that guy. They're like, okay, this guy is great.
That it factor that you've got.
Yeah, because I came in with the most experience, and then they paid me, found out, they ended up paying me like $4 or $5 an hour more than the current guys who'd been there. I didn't know that. That job, me and my coworkers, we fought to work the weekends. We wanted to work weekends. He paid us I'm not gonna lie. I told my coworkers one day, I said, yeah, I'm not complaining, but I think Dave pays a little bit too good. I mean, I know we got a good fit in, but we shouldn't be making money like this. I actually said that.
Yeah.
Cause I felt we were getting paid too. Man, he was paying us. So let's say you was making, I don't know, $20 an hour, right? You would automatically get $20 an hour times 8 for holiday. Like any job would. You know, regular holiday pay, you get your that. So that's $160 a day, right? All right, in that field, everybody got overtime. So nobody really lived off of 40 hours. Nobody did. Yeah. It's just the field, not the job, that's just the overall field. So we got that 160 just for holiday. Then we got an extra 100 for being on call. Then if you actually had to go out and work, we got paid double time. So you got paid
all the money.
Yeah, so we're making $7,000, $8,000 a day for the holidays. So we actually fought with the holidays. People who were married and had kids. And my wife said, I better not come home Christmas. Yeah. So, man, everybody knew the kids. Everybody knew their kids. They kids like, no, Dad, you better go to work. Okay, everybody want the money. Cause we making Thanksgiving, you making $2 or $3 grand in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you could get a paycheck that was $5 grand for a 2-week period. You know,
that's amazing.
Exactly.
So when you're making this money, what are you doing to make your money make you money?
So what I was doing then, I started buying more real estate.
Gotcha. Okay, so you already had 3 houses before this. Now what, you're walking into what, 4 or 5?
No, I had 3. I had 2, and then I got rid of one. Sold one, lost one, sold one, and then after I bought this house, I bought another house, and then me and my cousin bought one together. That's what I was doing with all the money. You know, I buy real estate. Yeah.
So you're sitting back with your cousins that are doing the real estate side to fail to help you out.
Yeah.
You've made connections to other individuals in order to help you realize and learn more about the area.
Well, at this time, my cousin just became a broker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's no middleman, it's just us.
It's just you two.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we doing that, man. And that went on for a while. I'm making money in real estate, and then
are you doing the cars or any of that?
Not yet.
Are you doing stocks? Or are you doing anything?
I was doing Forex at the time.
Ooh, dude, doing Forex trading. Do you have a favorite pair that you like to work with?
I had US 30, which is US 30 is
that's volatile.
Very volatile.
Volatile.
Very
I know
volatile.
a little bit about Forex.
Yeah, very volatile. US 30 and the regular US currency. I really do exotics like that.
Yeah. Get your pairs and get all that
exactly.
stuff.
So I met some people who started doing that. They started teaching me. I ended up trading with them. These people are millionaires. I started making more money, dumping more real estate, you know. doing it like that.
So you're taking it and processing and taking your money this way and making it again, make your money, make you money.
Exactly,
Just let it sit
exactly.
there.
So when I started doing the trading stuff, start learning about Bitcoin, stuff like that, investing, and then I'm doing all this money now. At this time, I'm sitting here like, okay, because I'm a person who never like rely on one source of income.
Oh yeah, multiple streams of
Yeah,
income, man. Because you never know when one stream's gonna dry up.
You never know. You
Never
never
can
know.
tell.
And I took hits in the market before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, everybody.
everybody has.
If you're in the market, you're taking hits. That's the part of it. It's gonna
Exactly.
go up. It's gonna go down.
Yeah.
Are you willing to take that ride?
Exactly. Are you willing to take that? I tell everybody that. You got willing to take that L. W's feel good. Them L's feel worse.
It does.
Yeah.
As long as you're taking, whenever you're taking a big win, take your money out, hold it for a minute, then wait for it to kind of come back in.
Yeah,
You gotta know, like get old Kenny Rogers, gotta know when to hold and know when to fold them, know when to walk away, when to run.
Exactly. And also I was stacking that money too for a rainy day because
So smart.
that the owner I worked for, he ended up selling the company. Because he got offered a deal he couldn't refuse. Yeah.
Hey, when the money's right, the money's right.
Yeah, he got offered some M's. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I said, no hard feelings. I get it, man. The new company came in. The new company actually wasn't bad, to be honest with you. And then I traveling for them too. Then they end up selling. The new company end up selling to somebody else.
So you're now on your third or fourth company that's been purchased where you're working.
Or for fifth. I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? But still the same location, just
different companies that are coming.
That keep buying. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last one that
medical
bought
field is constantly going to be working.
Oh yeah, constantly, yeah. But the last company that bought us, they were horrible. And then I had somebody at corporate didn't like me. I didn't like him. But this the funny part, Kay. At this time, I got my real estate going. They're making me some money. My trading is making me some money. And so I'm at this point now where like I don't even need the paycheck of the job to pay my bills.
Nice. That's a good feeling.
Great feeling. The best part of that is when you do that, when you have a job and then you got money coming on the side that you're not really busting your behind for.
Get all passive income.
It gives you this peace at work. Like, it's weird to say nothing at work stress you out.
Yep.
Because corporate were like, oh, we're going to start doing this. Y'all get written up. Or we're going to do this. I'm just at work just smiling. Everybody miserable. I feel bad for my coworkers. And the vice president, he mad at me because I'm not mad. I'm like, oh, what you want to do, man? Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he wanted me out of there because I was the highest paid. He wanted me out. I was the highest paid. This dude tried to write me up 10 times and it failed every time.
Wow.
I broke no company rules. He just some corporate guy. He didn't know. So then there's some crazy, my friends that got me trading with them. They're like, hey, me taking a trip to London. And I said, okay, cool. We said, we want you to go. I'm like, all right, they said, we'll pay for it. Oh,
okay.
Okay, fine. The London, on your dime, cool.
Yeah.
Turn my 2-week notice. My manager approves it. Boom. Probably like 5 days later, my manager called me. Hey, Cee Jay, the vice president in Texas said nobody take vacation right now. He saw your request. Then he said he rejected it. I said, really? He said, yeah. Get my Kate. This time, I don't really need the job financially.
Yeah.
I'm not rich or nothing like that, but
you know what your means of living are, and you're living within them still.
Exactly.
That extra.
Exactly.
You're playing your money smart. You don't need to be a billionaire or millionaire to stop working on something.
Man,
as long as you know what your prices are.
Man, I bought this house. I got this house, like 70-80% below market value.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mortgage was like
nothing.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm making all the extra money. So I got all the money saved up. Money coming in literally every day.
Yep. It's all about you playing the game properly.
I'm playing the game. Exactly.
You did your research. You knew what you need to do. You had the mentality. And mentality is 95% of it. Mentality.
That's what it is. All mental is good. 90%. That's everything.
Exactly. And then you get the last part is doing it.
Yeah, doing it.
Physically do it.
Discipline and mental. That was it. So all I know, we got a 3-way call. I said, call him up. He said, hey, my manager said, yeah, Cee Jay here, somebody sold time. He says, yeah, Cee Jay, had to reject your time because, we're not letting anybody get off right now. Keep in mind, the manager approved the time, not the vice president. He's all in Texas.
Yeah.
So I knew it was personal.
Yeah. He's taking it.
Yeah, he's taking it. So I told him, I said, well, Dave, I think you got this mistaken. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I wasn't asking you, can I go? I was telling you I was going. And the phone call got real quiet. My man looked at me like, what? I said, listen, if you can write me up, that's fine. You want to fire me? That's fine. Whatever you want to do, I'm cool with. I said, this is exactly what I said too, Kate. I said, I'm not trying to be no arrogant jerk. But Dave, be honest with you, I don't need this job.
Yeah.
I don't need none of this.
But I'm being honest
I'm
and
being
kind and
honest.
upfront with you saying, "Hey, man,
Yeah,
I wanted to take the break. Here's my little break for it. I did my
exactly.
paperwork. I'm following the rules.
I
You don't
said,
wanna
man, I come to
guarantee
work
them?"
every day.
Yeah.
I get along with everybody, all the managers, employee of the month, all this stuff. I said, dude, in my position, I could be a jerk at work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because I took y'all leverage. I said, because I'm not relying on y'all for survival. At this point, y'all need me more than I need y'all. I'm y'all best worker, and you know that. The phone get quiet. Okay, he says, just go on your trip, CJ. Exactly like that. It's all right.
Wow.
I see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This the part where this was my fault. Went out there, had a blast. The day I was gonna come back, I guess, because I was the only non-millionaire that went.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, CJ, we're gonna stay like an extra week and go do something else. I said, okay, I'll go with y'all.
Uh,
So I called my
now you're
manager.
breaking your rules.
Look at my rule. Yeah, I did. I said
Yeah.
my fault. My manager was like, he was cool about it, but I did it more to stick it to the VP. No, I'm
That
petty.
point.
I'm petty. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no worries.
Yeah. So I did that, and then came back, and then COVID happened, and that went at the moment when I said, you know what, COVID here. I don't feel like getting up in the morning no more. And I just said, you know what?
You put in your time. You put in 15, 20 years, some of that range of time. It's time to step away, and you're below your 40s and
Yeah.
done.
No, what's so crazy?
today.
I was on the phone with Devon and my boy Mario one night.
Love
I
it.
said, bruh, I'm gonna quit my job. For real. I'm
They're
gonna
like,
I'm
what?
gonna do it now.
Yeah.
I sent the email out that night, got a phone with them, went to bed, went to work next day. Manager called me in the office. Man, you gonna quit on me? Yeah, man, nothing with you, man. It's
This is
just
done. It's
it's
that
done.
time.
What you gonna do, man? I'm like, nothing. What you mean? Nothing.
Nothing.
So you ain't no job lined up? Nope. So you gonna be a bum in the house? Yep.
Well, you're not.
Like,
Real estate.
yeah.
You got your
All the
Forex
other stuff,
training,
yeah.
You got all your stuff in place, and so you're
Mhm.
not being bummed. You've built up an empire this
Yeah.
way to be able to do this.
Exactly.
And then, aren't you a shoe collector?
Oh.
You got your shoes too that you can hold on to. Oh man.
That's one of my bad habits.
Hey, and we all have our little vices. I'm a record man. I'll sit back and I'll buy records.
Oh,
all
yeah,
the
everybody
time.
had
So
their vice, man.
everybody's got their different stuff. But also,
Yeah.
you've built up all your freaking flyer miles, so you're flying where you kind of want to be able to go, do what you want to be able to do.
Mhm.
You had your money put beside that you're playing smart with, so
Mhm.
you're putting that into place.
Mhm.
What's the point of having to work if you know that you've done all that? You put in the effort. Some people, they see their paycheck at the beginning of the month,
Mhm.
and then by the end of the month, the paycheck's gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, so they're having to work to that next job. They're not
Yeah.
that next week.
Yeah,
They're
they
having
have
to.
to.
You go, hey man,
Mhm.
I'm
Exactly.
putting $800. I'm putting $1,000.
Exactly.
That's what I recommend anybody out there. Dude, if you got extra money at the end of the month, don't go spending it on something.
Don't put
Put it for a
aside.
rainy day. Put it back somewhere. Don't even
Yeah.
act like you don't even have it.
And people say,
Right.
"Oh, you shouldn't save money because save money it depreciated. It does go down because of the economy, but I still say people should save."
So you have all these different investments that you've been going through. You have your real estate, you got your Forex going on, and now you're going to start dabbling all this different stuff. How in the world do you go and you choose what to invest in and then maintaining it with this time?
Well, it had to feel right, and it had to be something I know I can do. So, like I was saying, like if I see somebody else doing some kind of investment and they're making a killing off of it, if it's something that I feel that I won't be able to do, or I feel not my thing, I won't do it.
Smart.
I'm a keen person, and don't invest in something that you're not really gonna feel, because you're not gonna be, you can't put your all
fully
into it.
invested. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, just like if I say, hey, Cade, let's start a business painting glass. You'll be like, well, CJ, that really ain't my thing.
Hey, I don't know glass, man.
Even if you see me making money, you're gonna be like, yeah, that really ain't my
My cup of tea.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's how I feel about certain things. That's why one thing about me, if I find an investment or something that I'm making money with, some people get mad at me about this. I want them to come out and say, hey, Cade, hey, I'm doing X, Y, Z. You can make all this money doing this, because I don't like forcing my ways on people.
Yeah.
Number one. And secondly, if you see I'm doing it and you're not hitting me up like, hey man, I want to do that too, you're not interested in it. So no point of me even being like,
Oh yeah, why even push this?
if you know I'm doing this, you know what I'm saying? All right, I see CJ making money throwing cell phones, you know, and then you see I'm doing it, but you never inquire about it. I'm like, okay, Cade not interested in it, although he see me making money off of it. So I'm not gonna come to you and say, hey man, you should do this. One reason for that reason. Second reason is when it comes to investment, the key word is an investment.
Yep.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing is. You got to be willing to lose what you're putting in at any point.
Exactly. And I don't want to tell somebody, say, hey, Cade, invest $5,000 in throwing phones and then you don't make your money.
Yep.
And then it's like, dang, I told Cade to do this and now he lost $5,000. But now if you come to me and you say, CJ, I want to invest $5,000 in your throwing cell phone business,
yeah,
that's different because I didn't come to you. You came to me asking me. So if we lose money in the investment, it's not my fault. I never asked you to join. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Yeah, that's how my mind works,
And then how did that lead to Turo? Because I'm curious, because like that's one of my next questions. If that's what you're doing a lot now.
Yeah.
So how does that ultimately, you've seen this, what was that click to that?
So when COVID came, the trading thing, I had took a step back because it threw everything out.
Everything got put in the bench. Dude,
I lost a lot of money doing that.
People did.
So I said, all right, I got to regroup. I got to find something else to replace it. I had a friend of mine, he started doing Turo a while ago, not really on a full-time basis, but he started doing it a while ago, and I saw him doing it. He said, hey, CJ, man, I'm doing pretty good on this Turo thing. Like, for real? He like, yeah, man, I made X amount of money on my car this weekend. Woo, woo. And he told me that. I said, I might look into that one day. And then I remember he told me again that he was making some more money. And I want to know people, like, if it makes sense, and I was like, all right, I like cars. I'm in the car, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kate, I was sitting right over there. He hit me up around probably like 10 o'clock at night. Man, look what your boy just did on this. At the crib, I ain't do nothing. He sent me a screenshot, what he made. I said, know what? Say less.
I'm now intrigued. Yeah.
That night, I went on the computer, Facebook Market, looked for cars for like 2 or 3 hours. I found a car in there, found the specs I like, and I messaged the owner, and he actually hit me back like 1 or something in the morning to the car here.
Nice.
And then that's how my mind worked. Like,
you're ready to go. Just go, how do I get
Devin could tell you if something makes sense to me, I'm not going to wait and say, yeah, let me think about it. That's to me, too much thinking, you can lose. You can lose too much thinking. Too much thinking, I got to think about it. Let me look at it. It just made sense to me. The very next day, I called my cousin, the one who the broker.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, man, give me a ride up to Oakwood, man, go get this car. He took me up there. I told him what I was doing. And my cousin, he a businessman like me too. We think the same.
Nice.
He wasn't even thinking about no Turo. He bought a car.
No, he's on board.
He bought a car. We both bought a car the same day. Yeah, it just made sense. That's just how we think. And then people
make dollars, baby.
And guess what? He don't work either. He a year older than me. He started working too. So me and him, he be at the house, him and his wife and the kids, he play PlayStation all day. Big old house. One of his property, he got multiple properties, but that's how we think. People like, how y'all do that? Well, we will sit there and tell somebody, all right, we're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
All right. You see what we're doing. We're not going to ask you to join. You see what we're doing. If you want, hit us up.
Hit us up and we'll explain it kind of our process.
Yeah. Nobody does it. Nah, we good. And then when me and him make the money, oh, I should have did it. But too late now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. And so I did the first car with Turo. I put it on there. Oh man, I got it cleaned up, put it on there the same day. It got rented out that same night. It rented out within the first 5 minutes of being on the app. Gone. I was like, oh snap, this is real.
Okay. Yeah.
So I called my cousin. I said, bro, my car gone. He said, what you mean? You just bought it a couple hours ago. I said, no, I mean, gone. It's rented. It's done.
It's already done.
He said, real, but out. Okay, I hadn't even drove the car 30 miles yet. Yeah, gone.
Insurance, everything's already on it. You're good to go. It's just, and then bam.
Just like that. So my cousin said, well, shoot, I'm going to put mine on tomorrow. He puts on. He said, man, it's gone. I was like, oh, man.
I love it.
Oh, man, it's a Tuesday. I started sitting there
too
like.
Good to be true right here.
I let it go for maybe like, I think about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Car rented. I said, you know what? I done made an extra, $600-700 in 3 weeks. I'm like, I'm gonna buy another one. I went and bought another one like 2 3 weeks later.
Dang.
Yeah, and then that one was gone within 30 minutes. Boom. And I'm like, oh snap. So now I done added an extra, between 1,400 to close to $2,000 a month
You're almost adding another paycheck.
on the paycheck. Yeah, exactly,
Right there.
exactly. So I said, know what?
This is after fees and everything.
This is after fees and everything. Yeah. So I said, okay, I gotta do some other stuff. Cause at the time I just spent a chunk of money.
Yeah, you got to make your money back somehow.
Yeah, I spent on these cars. So, but I wasn't making my money back. But I said, okay, I'm gonna start saving some money, and do some other stuff, to help me, do other things to buy more cars to invest in, whatever like that. And I still have my tenants paying me rent, stuff like that too.
But you still need to be able to have money coming in all directions. Another stream.
Exactly.
Another stream.
And then
you don't want to dip into your emergency fund if you don't have to.
Exactly. At the time, so now my Turo doing good, renters paying me rent, whatever like that for real estate. And I'm at home downstairs. This when your boy come.
Oh man.
Hey man, Devin coming there. Man, you don't do nothing. You do blah, blah, blah. Hey, you need to be a bid spotter. I'm like, what's that? He was like, he said to be in the crowd pointing out,
Hype man.
Yeah.
2.0.
He said you get paid X amount of dollars, do this, and you get free alcohol. I paused the game. I said, hold on. So you're telling me I get paid this much money to go to an auction and we get alcohol? Yes.
And we get to go into events.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like I'm like sitting there going, we get to hang out with who?
Exactly.
To meet this guy. I would never be invited to this kind of place.
Exactly. That's why I was like, oh, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I met George then through him. He actually called George. He told George to give me a call. George gave me a call, and then he invited me to an auction. I wasn't working the auction. I just went to
Observing.
it.
You observing. See, can I do this? Can I not do this?
That's when I met Keith.
Keith,
met Keith before I met you.
Okay.
Yeah, I met Keith before I met you. And then I see Keith is hilarious.
Dude, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
And then George is hilarious.
And we all have our different niches within bid spotting that makes us all different, which is so cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when I was going to do one with George, but then I ended up doing one with Megan. I might end up meeting Megan.
Yeah.
And
now you've got two different auctioneers you're working for. And then technically you've got three because you're working with Devon.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like now you've got a whole nother network there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got Turo going on. Now you're paying for your Turo
exactly.
Going through and doing the auction stuff.
Exactly. And the auction stuff, okay, that's just so easy.
It is. We work about an hour.
An hour? Yeah.
But we're there for like 3 maybe.
But we're not
even working.
You're not working.
Working in. We're working for about 30 minutes, but we're having a blast.
We're having fun, exactly.
We're having a blast.
Eating free food, free gourmet food. Cause that one place we went to when we had an issue with the parking in Atlanta.
Yes. But
that's some good food they had.
Great.
They were filling a steak and Brussels sprouts and
it's a good mashed potatoes.
Oh man, that man mess was good. Y'all, we eat good these auctions.
Yeah, we do.
We don't eat no cheap food. How many times we had the White House food 1,000,000 times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, exactly, man. This sneaker ball, you didn't go to that one.
I didn't get to go to that one.
Yeah, that was in Macon.
Dude, your shoes that night were killer.
Oh, man.
We're dressing up, so it's fun to dress up.
Exactly.
We're hanging out with our friends.
Exactly.
We're raising money for these nonprofit
You're helping people. You help a lot of people.
Helping people, exactly.
Yeah, that's great, man.
It's good stuff. It's good.
So I said, man, it's a good deal. I said, I'll do this. And the one I say, but you say you don't want to work no more. I said, bro, I will work if it's easy.
If it's getting me what I need out of it. And then next, you're falling into the advertising stuff.
Exactly. Because the same. Man. So with that.
Right place, right time, connections with people.
Know what's crazy? Every time somebody come up with an opportunity, I'm always downstairs in the basement watching a movie or playing the game. Every time.
It's your money making spot.
Obviously it is. I'm in the same spot where I was when Devon came to me about the whole auction thing. A friend of mine hit me up. I'm playing Call of Duty, minding my own business, 10 o'clock at night. She said, hey, Cee Jay, I need your help. I said, yeah, what's up? He said, help my job tomorrow. Your job tomorrow? She said, yeah, we need one more person. And the person who gonna do it couldn't make it last minute and this and that, woo, woo, woo. So then I started laughing. I said, I'm retired. I don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't worked in 4 years. This is like 4 years me not working.
Yeah.
Well, I was flipping houses. That's my own thing.
That's a different little thing. It's not a full-time job of having to clock in and clock out. You're doing that in your own time.
And then flipping houses, I just go there. Me and my buddy, we go there. We just took, hey, look, put a roof here,
Do
do
X, Y,
this,
and
do
Z,
that.
get
I'll be
that.
back in a couple of days. It really all we did, you know, so no physical work,
Yeah.
you know. So
Someone's got to be a manager over it all.
yeah, I just pop in every day. We just pay for everything up front. Yeah.
Exactly.
But so I'm downstairs, man, and I told her, I said, nah, I'm not looking for no job. Cause another weird part about this, Cade, when I stopped working my 9 to 5, literally I got hit with so many job offers. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
My old job, the one I quit,
They wanted you to come back.
oh, they asked me at least like 6 times. They were talking about calling my parents. Yeah, talking about they gonna try to
Wow.
call my parents and hey, don't make me come back. Like, nah, man. Yeah,
hilarious.
it's a blessing though. It's a
Yeah,
blessing
no,
though.
it is.
It's
It's
a
great to
blessing,
have
though.
that feeling.
It is. So I'm telling her, like, I don't know. And then she told me the number. She said, we get paid X amount of money to do this. I'm like, hold on. I paused the game, Kate again. I said, hold on.
You have
How-
my attention.
Yeah.
Have my
Go on, you know. She said, yeah, we get paid this amount of money to do this. I'm like, so y'all gonna pay me all this money just to pass out t-shirts? She like, yeah, fool, that's why I call you.
Then you get to go to the event afterwards as well.
But at the time, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, know what I'm
You
saying?
do find that that's what
I
happens.
heard those numbers, and it sound kind of unbelievable. 'Cause I'm like,
A lot of the stuff it does.
it
But
did, like,
but
exactly.
until you do the research and sit down and try, it's like, okay,
Come on,
this is real.
when we do sound, we might like, really, somebody really gonna pay us that just to stand the point? Yes,
Yeah.
we get paid to stand the point, but
But it's a very essential part of auctioning.
yeah,
in order to
it's
make
very
sure that
essential.
You're helping that auctioneer get the money. With advertising, it may seem like you're just handing out t-shirts, but that's making them money because they're seeing the brand
Exactly.
in front of it.
Exactly.
Someone got to do it.
Exactly.
And really, when it may not seem like much,
Exactly.
they're happy for you. They want
Cause
you
what
there.
everybody tell us, Kay, after the events, we want your job. Don't everybody say that?
Yeah.
We say, yeah, our job is cool. You get to
fun.
yell and scream and run around like crazy people.
Yep.
Get paid great money.
Get good money to
And
do
eat
it.
great food, you know. So she ended up
But
calling.
you got to be good at what you do. You just can't go out there. And
No, you can't.
but
You
You got
can't.
to be good at what you do.
You can't.
So don't think you can just walk out and be a bid spotter, guys.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
to death,
It's
but not everybody can do it.
bid spotting and auctioneering is a lot mental, very mental.
Yes.
I learned that.
Psychological to the.
A lot of psychological going on. Yeah. Yeah. So all I know, Kate, she calls some guy.
Yeah. She connects you in.
Yeah, because she been doing this for 8 years.
Yeah.
He texts me, this like 11 o'clock at night. He texts me and the text message said, hey, this is so-and-so. Listen, she gave me a number. Here's a link. Just put your name, address, phone number, your email, and your pay information. He said, skip the resume. He said, skip the
Already know who you are kind of deal.
No, he didn't know who I was.
He had a recommendation from
her.
somebody.
He trusted her.
That is a
Yeah.
I know who you are kind of range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he just heard about me 10 minutes prior, he did trust her. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, cause that's why she called me late at night. Kim, I haven't spoken to her in like months at the time.
Remember that, guys. Whatever you're doing in front of people, they're gonna remember it, and that could be make or break for you. So, be a good person.
Exactly. So the guy, I give him information. He said, fill it out. Don't worry about no resume. Don't worry about no video. Cause they want you like a video interview. Not so much a video interview, more
You're
like
given a set of questions, and you only want you to answer
on video. To see your face, and you give him a picture. He told me to skip all that. He said, skip this, skip that. No resume. Don't worry about none of that stuff. Name, address, email, phone number, bank information. That was it. So I sent that. He sent me the parking pass in like 10 minutes. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7. Keep in mind, when he said see you tomorrow at 7, I'm thinking I'm gonna see that person.
But you didn't realize what's you're not seeing. You're just going and getting a rounding of the event.
Yeah, cause I don't know. This is literally last
minute.
I don't know nothing about these people at all until 11 something that night, and then I know they hired me at 12. I'm like, okay, I try it out because I'd rather just not do nothing hard. Man, Kay, we got there. Everything she said was true. All we did was hand out t-shirts. That was it.
Crazy.
And the guy, I didn't even hand out t-shirts. He gave me a hand clicker. Not the guy who sent me
the count sound meaning you
the count thing, yeah. But it wasn't the guy who sent me the information. So
it was the manager that was assigned to the event.
It was the client who hired the company.
Gotcha. And then the company hires you out. So it's
exactly.
Gotcha.
But the people who hire us, I don't know those people. To today, I don't know who's in charge. I have zero clue.
It sounds fishy, guys. I'm totally
Yes, it does sound fishy.
So it sounds fishy.
It does.
But he went through the process. he sat down, he tried it out.
Yeah.
It's working for him. Now he's starting to understand it a little bit more. And yes, definitely be wary, everybody. Don't just all of a sudden jump
Keep in
on
mind, people, these clients are Home Depot, Coke. They're not like some sketchy people.
No.
These are
He's
whole
working for
tents and
legitimate companies.
they pay me the W-9, not a W-9.
Yeah, not a 1099 if the source
Yeah,
paid
W-9.
out.
So
Yeah.
I actually pay taxes with that. But it's weird because to this day, the people who do the, I guess, I don't know who does the hiring and firing. It's strange because the people, they don't answer the phone. They barely answer emails. The only time you really hear from them is when they have an event.
Work site. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have an app, and some
you
companies do
work
apps, some do work websites.
Gotcha.
And what they do, they post all the gigs. A portal, exactly.
Yeah.
And they show what if it's the Braves hiring, not if it's a Braves event, or is it like a Hawks event, Home Depot, Sprite, Chase Bank, Truist, wherever the client is, it will post, it will say, hey, this client got this, a small business conference. They need 10 people. You're gonna pay y'all X amount of hours. Hit this button if you want to do it. That's basically how it is.
And then they'll choose you out of it.
Then they choose the people out of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So none of this work is forced. So like you do on your own leisure.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I really accepted it, because I wasn't like forced. Oh, you gotta come to work. Oh, you gotta do this. No, it's like they send me an email that say, hey, Cee Jay, we got this event for Truist Bank at the Braves Stadium. You know, it's 3-day event. We're gonna give you X amount an hour, X amount a day. And y'all, the money is great for like every event is
a couple
great.
Hours, yeah.
Oh, it's great. The money is great. That was the crazy part. I'm like, how can y'all, cause my mind, I'm working like, how they making money? And they paying us this.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause it paying, and some of these events, y'all, they might just pay us just to stand. Literally stand. Just stand at the booth. And we'll just stand there, Cade.
Yeah.
But they paying us all this money. They're like, how y'all keep this up? Then I found out through somebody doing this for a long time, they said the client pays them a ton.
Yep.
So they
negotiate. It's all about advertisement and placement.
I had no idea marketing paid like that, man.
So interesting world.
Yeah, because they said that they tell the client, let's say client Arthur Blank, who is a client, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They might be like, hey, you want 10 people to promote your brand, you got to pay them this much a day. Although we might only be there for 5 hours or 6 hours. Yeah. But they pay us like be there for like 10 hours, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And then sometimes we only be there for 3 hours, they still pay us for the full 10. You know, yeah, and so, but the client be like, yeah, that's fine, because I'm gonna make a gajillion dollars, you know.
Coming back off of it. But
yeah.
It's being present and being there.
Exactly.
Being at the dance goes a long way, because if you're visible.
And this kind of reminds me of
marketing, medical, those are fields that are constant, education or constant being used. Find fields that work.
Oh man, you ain't lying about that.
Need a car, transportation's constantly gonna be something that's out there. People are gonna need a place to live.
That's true.
He's being very logical about every single one of these intentions that he's making.
You got to find the need. Find the need.
Yeah.
Like, so the advertising gigs I do is kind of like what we do, just super easy work that pays a lot, that require minimal effort.
There you go.
Same concept.
He's finding it.
Same concept.
Find your niche, find what works for you. And that's something that suggestions, recommendations, how to do that. Do you have anything?
To be honest with you, no, something crazy. You don't know this, but I'm getting texts this right now. Look at this.
Asking about work?
Yeah. Yeah. See, look. This lady right here who I met, she asked me about being with the other company. You know, I told her, yeah, it happens all the time because it's
that organization is actually doing a race that I just signed up for.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
That's just funny.
On 4th of July?
No, they're doing one in September.
Oh, okay. I'm doing one for them.
There's one that there are several different ones they popped up with. That's
because they asked me to do one for 4th of July. Normally, I told them,
small world, guys, interconnections.
Yeah, I know, right? But I told her, I said I'd try, because like I said, these people, they just don't respond. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I could say,
they have the answer blank, they get what they want, they move on.
Basically how it is. So like what happened is nobody told me this. This is my thinking. So remember I said give you an app and you go to the app,
go in for portal and sign out, whatever.
So apparently, our first couple of gigs I applied for, they didn't pick me up. But then somebody, I guess one of their regular people couldn't make one, so I applied for one. So
you're going in and filling in the spot.
Yeah, I did that. So basically, I did such a good job at one of them. They told me to go to Target and pass out samples. But they paid, I showed Devon this, they paid me enough for somebody working a 2-day job. This is pass out samples. The lady said, "You want to come in tomorrow?" Yeah, of course.
Yeah, gladly.
Yeah,
Where do I sign up?
Exactly. So did that, and then I guess they started asking me if I want to do more. And I think they see my availability. Because most people who do that with me, they got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got and they like their
That's
side
better than the
gig.
side hustle.
It's so they
Side hustle,
can
man. It's a great thing to have. Always find
exactly.
multiple streams of income, y'all.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But now I'm at the point now, okay, I don't even go to the website at all.
You're getting contacted.
They would text me. But
That's a good worker, y'all. If you're a good worker, people are gonna reach out and look for you.
But it's the thing though, they tell me I'm a good worker, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm not even doing nothing. I'm just
But that's the thing. You're showing up, you're doing what you gotta do, you're reliable.
Yeah, but
complete the job.
Okay, somebody said we're gonna give you this just to stand right here. They paid me one day to stand next to Dominique Wilkins, just to stand next to him. That was it. Just stand. Like, how was that hard work? I mean, I take it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Never
but
argue.
they told me, they said, "You're always available." That's when I told them. I said,
That's
"Well, yeah,
a key thing as well. Availability.
yeah,
That's
is
a key
very,
thing. That goes a
they're
long
very
way.
key." And that's why I told them. I said, "Well, y'all, I don't work a actual full-time job." They were like, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "I don't do nothing."
Yeah.
Like, for real, I said, that's why
I'm available to do this stuff.
But you know what though? That's why I like working with you and doing this, because I love that I have all this freedom.
Yeah,
that gives me something to do. I had a choice. Yeah,
but there you go. CJ's worked hard. He's put in the effort. He saw opportunities. He's being picky and choosing what he wants to be able to do.
Exactly.
And then now he's spent his money correctly. He's saved it in the right directions. He's done his research. And he's being available to any opportunities that comes available to it. He's being flexible. All of those are little pegs of wisdom here in order to get you to where you want to kind of be at in life. These are to help you win at life, man.
Cause man, I know when it come to the business stuff, this will sound crazy. I never thought I'd be saying it's more about time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, time is so important. It's actually more important than the money, to be honest with you. And
you can't I am not time.
I am not rich at all. I am not rich, but I'm not struggling either. But it just having options and time. So like, let's say the people say, "You know what, CJ, we don't want you doing this no more, blah, blah, blah." That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta be like, "Oh my God, I lost my job." Just come back home, play PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? You know? And so that's one of the best parts. So the money I make from that, I actually be saving it up for another car for my Turo business.
In order to get some more income coming back in. So all of it adds up, man. I love that. Is there any, we've discussed a lot of nice little nuggets. Is there any little nuggets or bits of information you want to pass on that we have not discussed yet?
I would say, discipline is key. Oh man, discipline is key, because you're going to have people tell you that you can't do it, or man, and sometimes I don't think people even try to be negative. It's a normal thing just to
envy, man.
It's just like, hey man, don't worry about this. Let's go out. Let's go hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people, they just want you to have fun with them, but you got to be like, know what? I want to, but my mindset on this. I want to do this. But I tell people all the time, and me and Devon had a conversation all the time. I say, man, I don't get mad that people don't do what we do, because everybody don't think like us. Like me and him had a conversation this weekend. I said, man, we were like, bro, we got it really good. Sometimes I don't think we even pay attention to it. I said, look, we were just
built this though.
Yeah, look,
you put in the time.
I just told you what we were doing this past weekend, having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and people out there I had to have a talk to one of the girls at the little sampling gig one time, because we did one for the Braves, and this particular day, it was like real slow. So wasn't nobody coming into a little venue they wanted to say, I'm perfectly fine with that. My mind said, let me cut the check, I'm fine. Long the check don't bounce, I'm good. She would get frustrated talking about, I don't know if I want to do this because we're just sitting here or whatever like that. And I told her, Kate, I said, listen, you're complaining about getting paid to do nothing. I understand you might want to be busy, but look how much they paying us. We're not getting paid chump change doing this.
We're getting paid good money.
Good money. You got people who working in warehouses making $12 an hour, doing back-breaking work, struggling. They have to go to a second job. You're mad because they got you standing here looking at the Braves play in an air conditioned building, and they paying you like
Why? Yeah. Why are you? And people hear that too when you complain.
like what you're making per day
Yep.
is not what people make. It take people 2 days to make that.
Yeah.
They pay that just to stand, and they feeding you like, and you're complaining.
Exactly.
People take stuff for granted. So
We do.
I made sure I'm a firm believer. If I made $1 million right now, I would not take it for granted. I don't take it for granted, and I don't look down on other people. Matter of fact, Kay, it was funny. One of the sampling events I did, it was for Coke. The lady who I normally do it with, she been doing this for a long time. So they be having her doing other stuff because she been doing this for like 14 years. So she's not full-time, quote unquote, but she's making full-time money.
Yeah.
But it's so easy, but she's like been in the company for so long. So they had me do one of the sample events without her because certain clients, they end up liking certain people for the marketing thing, and they request that person all the time. So they had me go with this other lady there, and people, we do these sampling events, giving out T-shirts, giving out coats, giving out stuff. People always ask us what we do and how much we make because they see us standing there,
True,
to doing nothing, and curiosity comes up.
Curiosity, man.
Exactly. So when people ask me, I say, well, you kind of go to the website. Every gig paid different, which is true. Every gig paid a different hourly rate, different. Yeah, so
that's why you can pick and choose what you want to do.
Exactly, pick what you want to do. So that's what I told the lady. And the lady who was the other lady who I just met that day, who was working with me, she like, oh, because apparently the lady who had asked was kind of like a low-key Karen. So she like, why y'all just standing here? Y'all should be working. This and that. I'm trying to explain to her this we get paid to do this, to stand. But I guess she just wasn't.
She wasn't taking it.
She wasn't taking it because she worked for the store. She was pushing like a pallet, whatever. And then she kept coming back saying the same thing, right? So then she said, what do they pay y'all to do this? She just so curious. I guess she wanted to get the information out of me. So the other lady said, the lady said, well, I'm only getting paid $11 an hour to work here. The lady next to me said, that's it? She said, they paying us X amount of hour to do this. I couldn't do your job for that. I was just like, ooh. Exactly. That what she said in front of her. The lady look at me and then look at her.
You got to watch your mouth.
You got to watch them.
Watch your mouth.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, because not only did she tell her what we made, she downed what she made. She said, $11 an hour? Ain't no way I do that for your job, $11 an hour. She talked down to her.
Be humbled.
Yeah, she had to be humble. And you know what, Cade? She ended up getting humble.
Yeah. I
told them about this last week. Probably 20 minutes later, she gets a phone call. She's upset. And she like, what? No, then forget this, blah, blah, blah. And she left. All right, CJ, nice meeting. Leaves, right? I don't know what's going on. And remember, I told you, I don't hear from these people.
Yeah, you don't. It's true.
It's the one time they actually called me. I get a phone call. The phone call is from Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, hello?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this is so-and-so with the company. I'm like, oh, I'm my first time ever talking to somebody. Yeah, we want to tell you, we apologize. You got to do this event by yourself because we had let so-and-so go. Because apparently she told
complaining X, Y, and Z and saying this when she shouldn't.
So that lady who she down her income told her boss and said, how y'all gonna pay us $11 an hour to do this backbreaking work? But y'all paying these people, this company, y'all paying them 3 times or 4 times what we making, whatever like that,
That'll shut you down in a heartbeat.
And then she went and told her manager, who told the corporate manager at the grocery store, we had a grocery store, who called somebody else at corporate, who called the owner.
Very quick.
All within 30 minutes. They're like, yeah, CJ, we're sorry. Yeah, we're this event by yourself. To the fuss, well, it ain't hard. Just hand out a coat. Well, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, they were like, man, we'll make it up to you. Whatever like that. Like, oh, you're fine. I don't know who this guy is. I know you are, but I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So that was the only time I spoke to somebody on the phone. Yeah, that ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so that's why I say you don't down other people. Like, I would never tell somebody like, man, why that person working at McDonald's? Why they working at this? I would never tell nobody that. Never. I'd never down nobody for the income they do, man. Even if I was something I don't want to do, I wouldn't. No, I'm not like that person. Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
So work hard, save your money. Whenever be smart with your money and what you're kind of doing with it. Look at your investments. Understand what you're investing in. when you're talking, every important word that comes out of your mouth is going to be important in some way, form, or fashion because people are listening.
Yeah.
When it comes to being humble, be kind, be generous to individuals
Yes.
for it. Understand where your money's going, what it's doing, how it's working for you, and then look for opportunities and being willing and open on it and jumping on it when you see the things.
Yeah,
Those
and
are
learn how to pivot
all
if something
great.
change. Yeah.
Exactly. And pivoting.
Yeah.
Great nuggets of advice here throughout
Yeah.
this entire episode. As you listen, go back, listen to it again if you need to. Be able to find those little nuggets as you're listening through, write down information because it's highly important that you can be able to understand this and be like Cee Jay and sit home playing on his PlayStation, you know, and hanging out, having a good time. He's put in the effort. He's put in the time to be able to be here. It is a lot of hard work and a long road, and he's going to continue to put in that work in order to be able to continue doing what he's doing right now.
I still got a ways to go, y'all.
Hey, Cee Jay, thank you for allowing me into your home this afternoon. And it's been a true honor and a pleasure to be able to have that.
No problem, man. Appreciate you coming by, man.
Hey, well, we're going to wind down here. We're going to call this down to an end. If someone wanted to reach out to you, how could someone be able to reach out to you, Cee Jay?
They could probably contact me on IG.
Okay. I'll put a handle down below.
Yeah. Put you get my handle. Yeah, I get my handle. You want to reach out to me on IG. That's fine.
And then, so if you want to reach out, I'll put a handle down at the bottom. If you want to be able to kind of get a look down there in the show notes, I'll have a couple other things down there to kind of description about kind of what we got going on in the show notes. And you can reach out to me through the show notes as well, which I've got my email, which is cade, which is spelled CADE at learningfromfriends.com. I've got an Instagram page too. I'll have that link down there. I've got a LinkedIn page. I'll have a Facebook page down that way. And if you want to be able to listen to this, I'm pretty much almost on any format like YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, any of those different like streaming platforms. Search up Learning from Friends. It's on there. I have a website, learningfromfriends.com, which we're now in almost 80 plus episodes. You can go through and filter through by categories or filter through. There's a newsletter. I've got a blog that I'm starting to write about my previous old episodes. If you're trying to find something that may interest you, there's a lot of content out there. So I hope you've all had a wonderful day. Hope you continue to have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys in about 2 weeks on our next episode here. But as we get ready to leave, you all know that is coming to an end when you hear the sign off. My name is Cade Curtis, your tour guide in this lovely adventure that I like to call Learning from Friends. And most of all, don't forget, let your curiosity fly high.